Alright, so it's been about a year since I did any updates on the train layout, so I figured I'd come over and shoot a video for you guys today. And for the Tycho Forum, it's been almost a year since I started posting there, so I figured this would be a good time to get an update going. But I've turned around and since last video actually completed the rooftops on the buildings in the city area, and actually got cars and figures to populate the layout, which is kind of cool because I was glad to see it start to come to life once I was able to do that. So I ended up putting some tables and chairs inside the pizzeria. I got a gentleman coming out of the liquor store. At the Empty Arms Hotel, I have the bus that's headed over to pick up some passengers, but I also have a doorman getting ready to open a door for the couple. On the top, I put like a little kind of rooftop garden on the top of the building, and then I have a person who's getting proposed to over here. And then these are the people who are waiting for the bus, and I have a person who's just come out of the building and realized that the bus is right there, so they need to hurry up and get over to the bus stop. Down below, I'll try to get a better shot of it from down here. I wanted to have a little dam area for where the water was running off of the city. And I figured it would give some visual interest because you had another bridge and for their train layout to go around or go over. And then kind of here's what the revised downtown area looks like, because I have, now that I have cars and inhabitants, it sounds like FedEx just pulled up with the delivery. All right, so inside this is a Bertani's Billiards. Actually, I really like the way the kit turned out, but I made little pool tables inside, and my wife had some little beads, so I turned around and put those there. Most of the windows these upper windows have like advertisements and look like neon signs, but I left these two blank because I wanted to be able to look into the building and see the pool table and the people there. And on this end, I made like a rooftop deck so people could be gathered to look out over the bay. Here's this side of the building that you can actually see the signage and people who are outside. Over here, you've got a couple who's trying to flag down that taxi cab there in front of the black car. This is, part of motif 1. And over here, I've got a person who's trying to load lobster crates onto the truck to turn around and take empty lobster crates away. And I've got a lobster boat that's just tying off over here. And over here, I've got a boat that's loading crab pots. And you can see a person who's carrying probably some bait on their back. And they've got like a little storage area out here, toolbox. And we have a little welder over here who's actually trying to repair some crab pots. And eventually I want to get a little flashing blue LED to represent his welding over here. Over here, Spanky's got inhabitants, but also got the rooftop signage. And I have some people who are out here at the counter waiting for food to show up. I got a family who's sitting here waving to the boats, as well as a couple of fishermen. One of the things that got added over the winter was a tugboat, and it's a Frenchman River tugboat. I'm really happy with it. The details are really nice on it. And my daughter made the burlap bumper pudding for it. And then I have one person who's trying to tie it off while the captain and somebody who is on the dock are having a discussion about whether that boat can stay there or not. Again, I have the fuel depot where they're playing checkers, and they've got the boat tie-offs and some more details added to that. All right, so Tony's Marina got swapped out. Before it was a Tycho kit bash, but now it is our kit bash of a couple RDA Johnson's Boat Works. I wanted to turn around and build it up so that you had like a little bit of a widow's walk, and you had an area to turn around and have chains for hoisting things up into the building. And over here, they've hoisted up some ice, and they have somebody who's lifting a block of ice off of that to turn around and actually get it into a crusher. And then once it gets crushed, it can turn around and go out on a conveyor belt and then be dropped off to the boat. And I have a gentleman here who's holding the end of it as he's trying to position where they want the ice to go into the hold on the boat. And then I have the crane that's just got done unloading fish from another boat, and it's going to try to swing that over to the co-op once the Swift reefers have been moved out of the way. For the bridge, I did some little bit of work on the end of the bridge. I wanted to have an electrical stanchion going across with a little light to turn around and represent the red light that would be present to tell boats to stop when the bridge was down. I haven't really done a whole lot of work at Johnson's Boatwork yet. There might be a couple things I'll add to it, but right, one of the things I'm toying with is the little lean-to like storage box on the end there. I'm not sure if I want to paint that beige or if I want to paint that brown, but that's one of the things I'm thinking about adding to the building. I'm going to just stop this. I'll swing around to the other side. So I hadn't been pleased with the way the gas station had turned out the first time. I just felt like the pumps were too close to the road. It didn't really make a lot of sense or work for me, at least. But one of the things I wanted to do is turn it sideways, give it a little bit more room. But then when I did that, I realized there was opportunity for another scene here, and picked up a woodland scenic scene where it has the two individuals that are working on the car here, and the little boy is on a toolbox that's about to fall over, and I sort of think of that as myself, and that's me and my uncle who are working on the car. And my other uncle was a Boilermaker, and it's hard to see, but there's a welder who is working on the pickup truck in the garage over here. But I wanted to make that little scene up and work on it. The white building back here, I'm probably going to change out. I haven't worked on that lately. And I got it turned around just because as I was sweeping off the layout, didn't want to lose all the figures and detail parts that were in there. But that's supposed to be a bus stop, so I want to turn around and work on that a bit more, and that might be changing out soon. And over here is the passenger station. I've added some figures to it and turned around and painted up the brick area that it's sitting on. Unfortunately, I had to turn around and do this. I had a Bachmann switch sort of die on me, so I ended up throwing a caboose ground throw on it, and that seemed to help for now. I don't want to really tear it out just because I'll have to turn around and actually lift out a whole bunch of stuff on the layout to get it out of there, so I'm trying to avoid that if I can. So over here, we ended up getting a whole bunch of details added once I started adding vehicles and people, but one of the ones that I really like is this little ice cream truck where the kids are trying to clamor for some ice cream cones. And then over here I have another Woodland Scenics make a scene where it is a produce truck and they are dropping off fresh produce to Spankies for their meals that they're creating. And I turned around and added some more figures outside of Spanky sitting on the table over here and actually going in. Have somebody using a Coke machine on the side of the building. And then Motif 1 got a series of trucks added to it, and I added some weeds and plants that were kind of growing in areas that the trucks couldn't get to just because they kind of were taking that over. Over here I have, at the brewery, I have a shipping dock and a receiving dock. This is the shipping dock. And the foreman over here is studying why a keg is missing. Trying to figure out where that went off to. I think I'm eventually going to paint it up on another silver barrel and throw it in the back of one of the pickup trucks. Apparently somebody's misbehaving. And over here at the ice house, I've got blocks that are on the edge waiting to be loaded up onto the reefers that I've made up. These Lighthouse reefers, I turned around and made up the logo so that I could have Lighthouse Brewing reefers on the layout. I made up 4 of those. I gave them B&A numbers, but I wanted to turn around and give them kind of their own paint scheme and be able to have them being delivered to the brewery. So over here, this is not done yet. and there's a switch back here that leads off of the layout. And the plans are, I have this kind of corner area over here to work with that I just got a big air conditioner out of. But the corner expansion would be that I could turn around and have a little area for staging off on this side. And that way I could turn around, back trains down into staging, and then swap them out when I wanted to. But thank you for your time.